All right, welcome. Thank you for being with us this evening. Thank you for being with us this evening. This is a short presentation from each homeroom and subject teacher in the fourth and fifth grade. We will meet the teachers. For fourth grade, we have myself, Mrs. Jotz, and Miss Mitchell. For fifth grade, it's Mrs. Fisher and Mrs. McGrath. We will go over our areas of responsibility and talk to you a little bit about communication. So in fourth grade, we transition to group and project-oriented learning. There's an introduction to departmental instead of self-contained classes. And there's a transition from the developmental report card to an academic report card. We all utilize Google Classroom, and students have the ability to achieve honor roll. Organization and communication is very important. Ms. Mitchell, would you like to go over the next slide?
I will. We use Google Classroom, especially this year with being remote and in person. We put our work for language, arts, and religion there. And social studies I put there for fourth and fifth grade. And Mrs. Fisher uses it for science, Mrs. McGrath uses it for math, and Mrs. Jotz uses it for reading. Spanish is also there. Art and music and health are also subjects that the students have with teachers for each of those.
So for language arts, we have resources that highlight the different aspects that we're teaching. So we use the Voyages textbook series. It also has a workbook that goes with it. Grammar is integrated into the Wonders reading series, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But each of the lessons is numbered and the workbook corresponds to the textbook.
And for religion, we use Blessed Are We, and we follow the liturgical year with the different holidays and seasons of Advent and Lent. And in fourth grade, we do saint projects. The children take a pumpkin and make it into their saint, and then they later do a written report and an oral presentation in class. And we do other projects like that for religion. And we follow the year with Advent services. We also do a Thanksgiving Mass where the children wrap the bread and it's blessed and given out to the people in the school. And everybody gets to take a little blessed bread home for Thanksgiving, have with their families. And that's sort of some of what we do for religion.
In reading, as I mentioned, we utilize the Wonders reading series. There's a reading writing workshop textbook, a literature anthology book, and a Your Turn practice book. In the fourth grade, we also use 2 novels. We have a list that we choose from, and we work on one in the fall and one in the spring.
For fourth grade social studies, we have 2 books. We study the regions of the United States and we study New Jersey. We talk about geography and map skills for United States and New Jersey. We talk about government, local, state, and national government, and we talk about economics. We also do a postcard exchange, and last year our postcard exchange was featured on News 12 New Jersey, which was very exciting for the students. And that's some of what we do for social studies.
In grade 4 for math, my name is Mrs. McGrath. I teach both grade 4 and 5 math. We use the Sadler or Oxford series for math. This series offers multiple resources for teachers, students, and families. All the textbooks can be accessed online with additional student and family resources. Grade 4, we emphasize reinforcing basic math skills, multiplication mastery. This will enable the students to continue with division and ultimately allow students to compute fractions. Fun Fridays have included geometry, measurement, and converting capacity. A finished product this year was a witch for Halloween made out of geometric shapes with specific measurements. In addition, we use websites, play games to further enhance learning. I'll speak about those further when I present the objectives for grade 5.
And then speaking about science, we focus on a variety of different topics in a spiral kind of fashion, touching on both earth, physical, and life science. We also integrate engineering into our science curriculum, adjusted, of course, for the virtual world that we're currently in, but we are still interactive and participate in small little student readers each unit and participate in many, many labs and investigations throughout the year. Google Classroom is very essential for science as we become adjusted to the digital world and adjusting to writing our activities online. Speaking about fifth grade Google Classroom, we also use Classroom. That's our learning management system in fifth grade. And just like fourth grade, there are homeroom classes. They might be separated religion from LA, but there are always subjects for the homeroom teacher, as well as subjects for the four of us and specials. So students have to navigate quite a lot of classes, but it is all done in order to help keep them organized.
For fifth grade language arts, we use the same series as fourth grade, Voyages in English. The language arts program provides students with the basic necessary components, of the English language. They include the parts of speech, syntax of sentences, types of sentence, structure of sentence using commas, punctuation, capitalization. In addition, our textbook provides a section for written and oral communication, which coincides with part 1 of the textbook. And outside literary resources we always use to reinforce the session.
Hold on.
This book, as aforementioned, with fourth grade, enables students to reinforce these skills taught and provides opportunities for practicing. And they coincide with each lesson and chapter of the book. And the publication also provides students with extra online practice and games to enhance these learning activities. Would you like to speak about religion, Mrs. Fisher?
Sure. We also use the Blessed Are We series like fourth grade does. In fifth grade, there's an emphasis on the 7 sacraments. So we focus a little bit more in-depth review on each of the 7 sacraments. We also follow the liturgical year. We participate in a variety of different events that follow the different seasons of Advent, Lent, etc. We participate and prepare numerous masses and prayer services throughout the year, both virtually or in person. In prayer time in the morning, we try to emphasize a wide range of prayers, getting our children used to things like the Nicene Creed or the Apostles' Creed. And we also bring in scripture to our prayer time, as well as including special intentions, including those in our community, both locally that we know of, our personal family and friends, as well as those abroad and those we may not know.
And in addition to our religion, the school as a whole does a program called Choose to Be Nice. And many times on Fridays, now that we're, totally remote, Mrs. Fisher and I share Virtue of the Month. So we will do many activities for the virtues of the month. And we definitely bring in many religion objectives into our religion studies as well.
Okay, so for fifth grade reading, the program is set up similar to fourth grade, and it builds on some of the skills that they learned with some further emphasis. Again, there's a reading writing workshop textbook, literature anthology, and the Your Turn practice book. We also cover 2 novels, one in the fall, one in the spring. When we are able to be in person, we also will utilize center activities, pair and share, depending upon what we're able to do. And also with the fourth grade, we have an online component where students can have text to speech and listen to the stories. We can also integrate this and post lessons and links to the actual story within Google Classroom as an additional resource.
And in fifth grade social studies, we continue with building on what we learned in fourth grade with the regions. We have an emphasis on Native Americans, early European explorers, and early colonial period. We do many different projects with groups if we can at times. And we've taken virtual field trips to many places like Mount Vernon, some national parks. And that's some of the things that we cover in fifth grade social studies.
As mentioned before, the fifth grade math book, we use the Sadler Oxford series. And the emphasis in grade 5 is really placed on reinforcing basic skills, place value using addition and subtraction, place value using decimals when multiplication and division are introduced. And a continuation of the number theory enables the students to add, subtract, multiply, divide fractions, simplify their final answers. The objectives that are also included are geometry, measurement, capacity, coordinate geometry. During the various holidays, the coordinate geometry provides students with practice of the various axes while making simple decorations. Measurement enables the students to create structures and forms using the various shapes of geometry while reinforcing the measuring skills. Conversions of capacity are also implemented. And this year for Catholic School Week, grade 4 will take part in a math challenge entitled Times Table Speed Test. Knowing the times table is an important numeracy skill. Research indicates that improving basic numeracy skills, which are of importance, will assist in student success in math. Grades 5 through 8 participate in another math challenge, which is known as the 24 Challenge. There are so many other websites, games, and reinforcement techniques that we use across the board in both grades 4 and 5 in math.
And then in science, we use the same program that we use in fourth grade, different units, but the same program called Know Atom, which is very interactive. We focus again on life, physical, and earth science, as well as bringing in engineering. Usually in fifth grade, we will also participate in the Archdiocesan STEM Fair, which unfortunately was canceled in 2021 due to the COVID-19 global pandemic. But hoping to bring some of those sustainable development goals, it's been a while, sustainable development goals back into our curriculum is key, and we make sure that we emphasize that and tie it into religion and bettering others and making those solutions to help those in need.
Okay, so communication with parents. There are 6 opportunities for formal written communication with the teachers. A progress report and report card are published in PowerSchool for each of the 3 trimesters. There are 3 opportunities for parent-teacher conferences. There are designated dates on the school calendar for each trimester. Parents can sign up for weekly summaries from the Google Classroom. This recaps the posts and gives summaries from all work presented in each Google Classroom by subject. PowerSchool for grades is updated as grades are put into, PowerSchool for grades is updated as assessments and assignments are available. And at all times, parents are welcome to email and have an additional parent-teacher conference if they think that it is necessary. So thank you for spending this time with us, and we look forward to meeting you and your child in person.
Hi, I'm Ellen, and here's some fun things about St. John's. Last year we had a field day and it was all virtual. They made a video and we had to follow some exercises, and it was really fun. We also do science class. We also do really fun labs and experiments. And then we have a thing called the math challenge. It's like you get 4 numbers and you have to multiply, divide, add, and subtract to equal 24.
Hi, I am Brooklyn D. Caleb. Each year we have Catholic Schools Week and we do the Wax Museum. The Wax Museum is where you dress up and you pick someone who invented something or they made a big impact in the world. And you do it in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And you dress up and have a whole presentation in the gym with a big poster board behind you. And you have a little speech thing. And we also do the trunk or treat for Halloween, but this year we couldn't do it. So we did a Halloween parade where our computer teacher put together a slideshow and everybody sent in a picture of them in their Halloween costume.
the